Hello everyone, my name is Oliver Corey and today I'm going to talk to you about the Mexican press system. I chose to do my presentation on Mexico because I thought it would be interesting to put its very low rating on the Press Freedom Index into context for the class. As most of you know, Mexico is located just south of the border. It's the third largest country in Latin America. It was established on September 16, 1810, and it's considered a federal republic. The population of Mexico is 120,286,655 people. Most of the people in Mexico are Roman Catholic. 82.7% of people in Mexico are Roman Catholic. The main language spoken in Mexico is Spanish. 92.7% of people speak only Spanish, and the rest of the people speak Spanish and assorted other languages. The literacy rate in Mexico is 89.6%. Mexico has a number of constitutions, and the most relevant constitution for this class is their Constitution of 1917, which says freedom of writing and publishing writings on any subject is inviolable. The Press Freedom Index ranked Mexico 148 out of 180, with a score of 43.69. The very low score, I believe, was due to the drug cartels and the corrupt media outlets. 5 million people in Mexico have computers. Of those, 2,712,000 have internet access. There are 236 television stations in Mexico and 1,378 radio stations. Despite numerous technological advancements, there are an estimated 31 million radio receivers in Mexico. That equates to about 304.3 per 1,000 people. Although there are many different newspapers found in Mexico, newspapers are not as popular as other forms of media. However, editors in Mexico have found that El Universal, Milenio, and El Informador are some of the best newspapers. In terms of television, Televisa and Azteca control most of the news coming out of Mexico. Televisa controls about 70% of the market, and Azteca controls most of the rest. However, Televisa used to have a virtual monopoly over Mexican media. Although their constitution says that the Mexican media has a lot of freedom over what they can say, they exercise a lot of self-censorship. One example of this is that Televisa and Azteca, according to an unwritten rule, do not criticize the President of Mexico. One thing the Mexican media is known particularly well for is their corruption. They're well known for taking bribes from political parties and terrorist organizations in order to send along the message of those groups. One of those groups is the PRI, which is the Institutional Revolutionary Party. In one quote it says, "Finally, it used electoral fraud, corruption, bribery, and repression when necessary to maintain control over individuals and groups." In some instances, people have protested the media. In the picture that you can see, the protest is over Televisa being bribed by PRI. PRI is well known for bribing specifically Televisa because Televisa has such a large control of the market. Drug cartels, as many of you all know, have had a huge impact on the media that happens in Mexico and comes out of it over the past few years. In one quote it says, "Many of Mexico's media have been effectively silenced by intimidation or bribes." In some instances, journalists have actually been killed by the drug cartels of Mexico. Some people have gone as far to say that the drug cartels are worse than ISIL or ISIS. They've done things such as beheadings, hangings, and other public demonstrations in order to get their message across. I think there are many similarities between the US and Mexican press system, and I think one big similarity that should be noted is that we both have parts of our constitutions that talk about having freedom of press and not infringing upon that right. However, I think a large difference is that Mexico is very much persuaded in their media coverage by different entities such as corporations and of course drug cartels, which I don't think we have quite as big of a problem in the US. According to the Library of Congress, Mexico is the biggest source of news for Spanish-speaking Latin America. So what this means is that a lot of the news from Mexico is being disseminated into the rest of the world. So what happens in Mexico is having a huge impact on Latin America as a whole. Overall, I would say the Mexican media has a lot of room for improvement, and I think the people will realize this and they will try to fight for a way to make this happen, whether it's through protests or some sort of resistance. And I'm not sure how successful this will be, but I'm sure they will fight back in some way. Thank you.